So hello,
Hello.
please introduce yourself, like the character you're playing and the country you're from.
Okay, hello. I am Shinjin from Sweden and I use Biken.
Okay, um, it's a bit of a rough question to ask, but what do you think about this showdown and compared to the last year?
Well, I wasn't here last year, but I organized a lot of things from like the other side of the planet since I was in Japan then. And I guess this year it was less people that actually could come, and I guess that's kind of one part of that. Guilty Gear is kind of fading out due to all the new games coming out, and that saddens me a bit. But overall, I think pretty much everybody here had a great time and enjoyed some awesome games. So I guess the spirit of Showdown is the same as always, like enjoying great Guilty Gear and awesome people from different countries.
Okay, there are lots of different European countries represented in this showdown. Players from which countries you have been played in the tournament, and any names and.
Well, in tournaments I faced off, I guess the fiercest competition was of course France and Russia. There was also a Finnish Faust guy that was giving me quite a lot of problems even in casuals, since Faust is a pretty tough matchup to play when he plays properly and gets the hammer twice. Twice in a row, and I read him. Oh. Well, but yeah, like the people I think coming here and that I acknowledge as strong players is, well, of course we have the classic like Lasse and Goga and Mitsu, but I was also surprised over like the level of other people. Like especially in tournament play, it was quite a big difference playing with people in casuals and in tournament. The player types, I guess, the people not from Sweden were better in tournaments than the Swedish players. Like they had this extra nerve, or like they were like just more solid and stronger and had what it took to like pull through. But then again, like Sweden won both singles and team, but we didn't win SBO. So, but yeah, I was impressed.
Okay, can you name the most memorable match for you during the singles and during the team part?
Oh, well, during the singles, well, of course, like the first match in the post game versus Jake Station.
Jake Station.
Yeah, was pretty memorable because I felt like we played casual in like the first one guy I played back at Dragonslayer in Stockholm City before we came to the event, and like the first round started off really good, and I felt like solid, and I played the matchup pretty decent. And then, like, of course, like I said before, those double hammers when I read his far slash and that it's going to do item throw, because you get counter it if you get anything other than the hammer. So that was pretty memorable. And like SBO, of course, like I was pretty nervous then. I had a lot of pressure on myself. So I don't remember exactly what happens, but I remember the feelings. I remember the feelings playing Goga. And like we had talked in Sweden that I was the guy that was supposed to handle Goga. Yeah. And especially since I came with pretty good confidence after Sweden versus Russia, where I played pretty good versus him. But he just played really solid that match and managed to take it out. the thing I remember about that match was when I did the off the ground burst versus Goga. And like in the second round, when I was so close to dying and I would die if I didn't burst, and I managed to take the round, I was like so full of hype, so I just gave him the finger. Oh my God. It was so bad matter, but I guess all in the name of hype, right? Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Guilty Gear game. Okay, yeah. Do you have any thoughts about the next Guilty Gear game?
Yeah, I really hope there is one, but I don't want them to make a Guilty Gear just for the sake of making another Guilty Gear. I want it to be a good Guilty Gear, because I guess I've tried out like different 2D games. I'm not that into 3D, and I guess the freedom and like the variety between the characters and the system, and like how it's rewarding to people that give like put a lot of time into it. It's like I want them to keep that, but of course they have to appeal to the new generation of players, and it's a difficult thing to do because you have to balance easy mode and pro mode.
Yeah. That's a good word. Okay, is there any player you've been looking up to?
Well, I guess I have Japanese players that I look up to, and like I was in Kansai, and like before I went to Japan, like there were 3 biking players I knew were good. Like number 1 is of course Maruken, the biking, who is pretty awesome. He does fun stuff, but I don't understand why he gets to do certain stuff. So stupid.
Me neither.
but yeah, there's a guy named Koto biking in Acho, and we became pretty good friends, and he taught me a lot of stuff, and I respect him. He has a solid playstyle, and I try to learn from that since I was pretty mashy in the beginning. I went from being pretty bad to like decent.
Okay, in Japanese.
In Japanese level,
yeah, we get it. And the third one?
The third one is well, he kind of retired-ish. It's a biking called Nabiken or Kada, and he's also from Kansai, and
Koto.
Yeah, not Koto, Kada this time, Nabiken, and he's such like hype. He plays really awesomely.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be fun if he still played properly, but he kind of quit. He went to SBO last year, but he said it himself, I'm not playing this game really much that anymore. And he was teaming like, I got this t-shirt actually from, this is Dogura actually, and yeah, they were like, before SBO, they were pretty hyped out about like,
Dogura.
yeah, Dogura, so this is supposed to be Dogura, and he was teaming with Nabiken and Gibson Eddie. And so like this guy made a t-shirt to like hype, because Dogura is like the hype of Acho. He's like the one screaming and making everybody happy. So like everybody wanted to root for him, even though he was the only guy still playing Guilty Gear in that team. So like here's like the 3 of them. So it's Gibson, Nabiken, and that guy. He is awesome.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, those are the 3 I respect the most and learned a lot from.
Have you played with the American or seen him playing?
I played with him when I went to SBO. I only been in Tokyo for 1 week, and then I played like 3 games versus him, and it was so much fun. I'm glad I had so much practice in Kansai versus Biken, so I managed to do decently. I guess it was 2-3 rounds, 2 of the games, and 1 game I got destroyed, so decent enough.
Okay. So, any words you would like to say to the Guilty Gear communities all around the world, so please.
Guys, keep on playing Guilty Gear. It's an awesome game, and you know it, right? Don't go for that stupid games.
In the camera, please. One more time, please. Okay.
Yeah, and just like keep having fun with it, because you know it's all about having fun and getting better together as a community. And yeah, like keep the fire alive, at least for a while.
So, thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You are welcomed in Russia.
Yeah.
It will be at the end of summer in
Yeah.
August. Our greatest tournament of infinite Russian.
Infinite Russian. Soviet damage. Okay, yeah, I might actually head up to that now that I won't go to SBO.
That was our plan. Yeah, that was our plan.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.